The former second-round pick, this is Joe Mixon. Give him 3 there on the first play of the game, and it's second down.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
At the 28-yard line.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28.
Check back. Check.
Now Joe Mixon trying to run inside, but nothing there. No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, that's what their job is, and really a lot of the time they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold them to no gain.
Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down.
One of the money routes for any offense, the drag route. So tough to defend because the receiver can stop at any point and make himself available to the quarterback and get a completion. But I love the communication we saw there. All the defenders pointing out the receiver, where he was going, and then they're able to rally to the ball after the catch and stop him short of a 1st down.
A very good return that time. 18 yards. And the Browns will take over 1st and 10. The first carry now. This is Johnson. And this first play will get him back to the 25, but that's going to be it. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10.
Check 31. Check 31. 3. 1. Alpha.
Working out of the gun, Mariota. This one complete to Curtis Samuel. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down.
One thing we do know, he's going to get his catches. So as they move forward defensively, got to continue to focus on not giving up the big play when he does catch the ball in the secondary.
Second down pass play got him 8 yards. Now they've got a 3rd and a couple remaining. They'll try and run for it. Here's Johnson. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains.
When you're dead last in the NFL in 3rd down conversions, the odds are against you every time you face it. How about him picking up that one? That was big for them.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
What we got? Big Ed.
Johnson. And an alley to run. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. It's a gain of 10, and the Browns are going to get a 1st down. We should mention, to go along with a great game he had last week, he was rightfully named AFC Offensive Player of the Week.
And he shares that with his offensive line, the tight end, his fullback. He's looking for more and more of that in this game.
Check three.
Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. Complete out to Samuel on the quick throw. And they'll get this just to the 47, 1-yard gain. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9. I think defensively you're okay with that. Here in the first quarter, he's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that and you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch, now you put the offense in a position where every series they have to work hard to pick up first downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that.
It's a gain of 34. You were telling me this yesterday. This is exactly what they want to do on the opening drive, establish the ground game.
Yeah, remember our conversation? We were talking about what one of the GMs in the league has told me repeatedly. It's a big man's game, and it's not necessarily size. He's talking about playing some big boy football. Line up, get leverage, knock people back, and establish the run early.
They'll run on first down. Redmond. And they'll lose yardage here. Knocked back to the 19-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down. On 2nd and 11 now. Mariota. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Browns touchdown. Taywan Taylor, his first touchdown on the year, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Point after, right down the middle, and it's now a 7-0 game. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes.
The Ravens take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And it's only November, but the playoffs, we know how it works. They'll be here before you know it. If it ended today, they would be the #1 seed.
And that's a great spot to be in, but I love the phrase, if it ended today. And I'll guarantee you that's what they've discussed in their locker room, in their meeting rooms. Yeah, we know where we'd be if it ended today, but we also know it's not ending today.
Right.
So they've got to continue to play the type of ball that put them in the spot where they're #1 in their conference.
And he'll be brought down right around the 37. That one, a first down pickup of 8.
And that was a nice, strong run by the guy they called the field general.
And a Raven first down.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
Coming to you, coming to you.
That one caught out wide by Boykin. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
Here we go. Set. Touchdown. Down to lose one.
Only a yard there on the keeper, and that's going to leave him with a 3rd down.
But now they're in a spot that every team tells us when we have our production meetings they don't want to be in, 3rd and long. And that's because those back-to-back running plays just didn't accomplish a whole lot.
Here we go. Here we go. On the base. Don't get nervous now. We ain't
On 3rd down, Jackson. That's caught. It's Malone. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. That one good for 13 and a Raven first down. So a 1st and 10 upcoming from Browns territory now at the 47. Mixon. And he'll take this forward for 2, maybe 3. But we do have a flag down, and they're already marching backward. That time the right guard sending him backwards.
And so many different types of guys rotate in on the defensive line now depending on situations. You can get the bulky guy, the fast guy. No matter what, though, you can't hold them.
Trying to get one more in here before the quarter breaks.
Give me that ball, defense. Give me that ball. Give me that
After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. After the penalty, it's Mixon. And he's going to take this across the 50 into Browns territory.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
53 for Mike. 53 for Mike. 49. Check 49. Check 49.
Throwing on second down. Jackson trying for Brown, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Denzel Ward. And he'll take this across midfield and inside the 45.
Well, they didn't exactly show patience there, did they? Just down a score, they come out firing right away and compound things by throwing an interception. They put their defense in a really tough spot.
I'm here all day. Check. One. Check.
The first down carry here for Johnson. And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
On second down now, Redmond.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
The line to gain is the 33 on third down.
Hey. 3. 50 to Mike.
Mariota. It comes, and he lost the football. Mariota had it jarred loose.
Plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back, because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up.
That's it. Big hit.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. They'll try to throw now. Mariota. This is caught. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Cleveland. Curtis Samuel, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Browns are going to tack on to their advantage. So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. The result's not great thus far. A punt on the first drive and an interception last time out.
And let's face it, every team wants to come out on the field and play with some confidence, play with some tempo, play with some rhythm. And when you're making those types of mistakes, you're not getting any of that put together.
So what do you say, time to get back to the basics for them?
In a lot of ways, yes, but the biggest one, of course, is finding people who will take care of the football and make a few plays. You've got to have a drive now that calms down the entire team.
Off the play fake. Here's Jackson. This will be caught by Brown. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up third down. From the gun on third down, Jackson eluding the pressure right. That's complete to his tight end, Mike Gesicki. And he gets this up to the 34 out of bounds there. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down. Here's Sam Cook now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. Returnable here for Callaway. A 46-yard boot, but just 36 following a pretty decent return of 10 yards. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Browns drive about to get started. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. The Cleveland offense ready to go.
64, weak. Undercut.
They begin the drive with Johnson. The Red Sea parts, and there he goes. The 20. And all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland. Duke Johnson with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Browns are going to tack on to their advantage. And on that long run, maybe the defense caught napping a little bit.
The concentration level may not have been there. I agree with you on that one, because those types of plays, when they result like that, they're almost like big bolts of lightning, aren't they? Whoosh, and off he goes.
The extra point up and good. And that pushes the lead up to an even 20. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And last drive, 3 and out. Still a goose egg on the scoreboard. How do they break that goose egg?
They've got to find a way to get the ball in the hands of their playmakers, get them some space, and try and make a first down and get some momentum going. It's been a struggle for them throughout the game, and that 3 and out on the last possession, that told you just how stalled they are on offense.
So who will step up here? We'll see. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Jackson. Buying time to his left. And he's going to keep it here. He'll wind up getting right about 4 there on the scramble, and it's 2nd down.
Well, he did a nice job keeping his eyes downfield, waiting for someone to get open. But once the pressure forced his eyes down to see the rush, it was time to make a break for it.
They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. To throw again on 2nd down. Jackson. And he fires one that's intercepted. Derwin James with a pick. That's sort of a second quarter to forget for him. Now 2 picks in this frame.
Almost as if the first one that he threw, he couldn't shake, couldn't get it out of his head. He ends up throwing a second one as a result.
Compounds the mistake a little bit.
Yeah, you got to be able to forget, compartmentalize, whatever you want to call it, and move on. He hasn't been able to do so here in the second.
And they'll start the drive on the ground with Johnson. And he'll be taken down after a short gain as that takes us to the 2-minute warning. Coming up in a couple of minutes, we'll get you to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. The coach will have stats and scores from earlier today in the NFL. On 2nd down, Johnson. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 14 yards, and it's a Cleveland 1st down.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense, because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing his secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
On 1st and 10, here's Mariota. Looking for his running back, and he's got him. Give him 3 on the play, and that'll make this a 2nd down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
That 1st down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7.
Kill. Turn up.
Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty. Following the penalty, it's Johnson. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. The Ravens going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as the clock shows 50 seconds to play here in half number 1. So 2 plays with only negative yardage to show, and now it's 3rd and 16.
I'm going to run you Echo.
Here's Mariota. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off near the 44. And he'll get this one out to the 50 to the midfield stripe.
So the first thing that crossed my mind is why didn't they just sit on the lead and take it to the locker room? They're in good shape.
Absolutely. And from this spot on the field, now you've given the other side a chance for points here going into intermission.
Yeah, you changed the momentum of the game, and it's something you did not need to do.
Watch the pass.
After the interception, here's Jackson. And that is incomplete. Showed off the arm strength there, but to no avail. 2nd down.
This defense is not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. He came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10.
Big stop, G. Big stop. Let's go.
Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he maybe makes it back to the line of scrimmage. That's it. Ravens going to use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop him with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. From midfield now, here's Jackson. And that is incomplete.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
46 on his first kick, this one in that neighborhood as well. And problems spreading to the punt team now. This one goes all the way into the end zone on the fly, so that'll come back to the 20. The Browns drive about to get started. You've got less than 30 seconds left here in the half. You're well on your own side of the field. What are we doing here, Coach Davis?
Well, I'm trying something on 1st down, and it's something that's safe. It's something that's been done many times before. A lot of people say it's not even worth trying, but I'm running a draw. I'm running a screen. I'm seeing if something pops. And if it does, that can alter my strategy and potentially get me some points. And if it doesn't work, well, then you just run the clock out and go to the locker room.
So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. The Browns are going to get the second half kickoff, and they've got this lead as well as we are back and underway. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line.
Let's go. Take over 1st and 10 at their own 26-yard line.
The Cleveland offense ready to go. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spend the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. They go to Johnson again. 4 yards on the pickup there, and now they're left with a 3rd and 8.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Squeeze, double. Slam.
On 3rd down, Johnson. So he fought off the tackle, and that effort gives him the first before he's brought down. That's good for 9 yards as they convert on the 3rd down play.
First down. 1st and 10 at the 37-yard line.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. They'll try the left side. Redmond. And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
And plays like that are exactly what this defense needs here early in the second half to give it a little spark. I think their halftime adjustments, what they talked about, maybe it's just a little inspirational speech. Who knows? But looks like they're ready to go.
Here we go, D. Get off the field. Check.
Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. The Ravens bring out an extra defensive back here on 3rd. And now the Raven defense going to call a timeout. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this 3rd quarter.
Mike's 50, Mike. 2, fellas, let's go.
On 3rd down, Mariota. And the catch made by Johnson. So he got free of 1 tackle but couldn't do a whole lot else.
Whether you're playing West Coast offense or not, one of the maxims of the West Coast offense is you're either throwing a touchdown or a check down. In other words, look for the big shot, but be smart. I think they did exactly that on that play. They didn't get the first down, but they're taking care of the ball well.
Yeah, and being rightly cautious with that lead here in the second half.
It's been a struggle all game for them on offense. This was a chance to maybe provide a little bit of a spark with a punt return. Unfortunately, that spark got doused.
Yeah, and you call special teams the third phase, but you see here it can be the first phase sometimes.
That is so true, right? It can ignite it one way or the other, and boy, that didn't help them at all.
Now a run on first down is not going to get off the ground as they will get him behind the line of scrimmage for a loss of 3.
But these guys are going to chop into that deficit. They got to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. He's able to call his own number for 8 that time, but it leaves him with a 3rd down.
And that was a good run, and it should get the attention of the defense, but it can't just dwell on it. They've been playing so well this entire game. Maybe they just look at it and say, okay, congratulations, you got one on us, and just not let it turn into more.
This This time, Jackson will throw it. Dancing to his left. He can run for it, and he will. And they'll get him down about 3 yards short of the first. It'll be a 3-yard gain, and that's going to bring up a 4th down.
And, partner, I would guess that in his headset he was hearing from his coach, it's 3rd down, don't take a sack. And in this case, he's able to avoid the pressure and get out of there. He doesn't get the 1st down, but he does turn a possible loss into positive yardage.
Now Callaway on the return. Good coverage there. An even 50-yard punt leads to a return of 5. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The Browns drive about to get started. They've got the lead. Last time had to punt it, though. What's the key to this drive?
I think it's leverage. Big guys up front. You know the motivational speech on the sideline is, guys, give us an opportunity. Protect the passer, create space for our runners, and let's go ahead and get these guys. Low man wins. Let's go do it on this drive.
We'll watch that leverage on this drive. Stopped at the 24-yard line after a gain of 5.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. Mariota from the gun on 3rd down. He may try and run for this. And he gets it to the 32. Good enough for a 1st down. Mariota had an 87-yard run as a rookie. This one a bit less, but it is a 1st down from the 32 now. Here's 1st and 10.
Check out route. One. You got tight. Right there.
From the shotgun, it's Mariota. His throw incomplete. He was in search of his tight end, Tyler Higbee, and that'll bring up 2nd down. Trying to get their tight end involved finally. That's the first time that they've looked his way. He's kind of been a forgotten man in this offensive scheme.
Yeah, it didn't look his way at all in the first half, and I'll bet you the offense coordinator made a note at the half and said, let's get him involved because he could be a big-time playmaker for us.
It'll be a pickup of 5, and that leaves him with 5 more. 3rd and 5 now.
That 2nd down play call was not to pick up the 1st down. It was to accomplish what they did to get them into a manageable 3rd down because they had incompletion on 1st down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
They stay on the ground. This time it's Johnson. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland. Duke Johnson, his 2nd touchdown of the night. And the Browns are going to tack on to their advantage. Extra point right down the middle. And that stretches the lead all the way up to 27. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that.
And for a 3rd time tonight, he's intercepted. Derwin James with a pick. And it's a big turnover there on the final play of the quarter. And we're back now here in Cleveland. A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4.
Hey, we got to get to the ball, team. We got to get to the ball. Let's keep running.
The busy night continues for Johnson. And not a lot of daylight. Not really any daylight inside as he's going to be stopped right at the line of scrimmage. Brings up 2nd down. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the fourth quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
On second down, Redmond. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. That'll move the sticks for the Browns, a gain of 12.
A good run there off right tackle in an old-school NFL football. The right side of the offensive line, often known as the nasty side. The left side, usually the technical side. Kind of reminds me of the old Atlanta Falcons 2009, 2010. That's how they constructed their offensive line.
On first down, Johnson. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. It'll be a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd and 11.
At the 23-yard line.
Where are they, team? 3. Pick me up. Here we go. Hey, check 24. Check 24.
Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. They showed off a nice juke of the defender before the next wave could bring him down. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down. The Browns on 3rd down. They've converted 4 times out of 6. Not bad. This is 3rd and 4. Now a give, right side. Redmond. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. They get the first. The decision to run on 3rd and medium winds up being a good one. The Ravens going to use the 2nd of their timeouts. That's going to leave them with just 1 remaining here in this 4th quarter. Now the Browns will use the first of their 3 timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this.
Right there, 56. Let them know. Let them know. Three. Watch out.
Now Mariota to the end zone, but it's incomplete. Curtis Samuel, the one he was looking for. But it'll be 2nd and goal. They're still throwing the football here. Now, obviously, the incompletion stops the clock. That's a bad thing.
Feels to me like they're just keeping them honest on defense because you know they're going to stack the line of scrimmage and try and stop any type of running play. Short little passes may work in exchange of running plays. Keep the clock moving, keep them moving.
I guess you're right. If they can get some first downs, just as good as running the football.
It's now 3rd and goal.
The Browns on 3rd down. They've been very good, 5 for 7 thus far. This is 3rd and goal.
No. Throw team spill. Check 99. Bang.
Mariota now. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Browns touchdown. Tyler Higbee, his 2nd touchdown on the season as his guys continue to pour it on. Extra point splits the uprights, and that will extend this big lead. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away.
The Ravens take over.
Here we go.
25-yard line.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And okay, all right, I'm being facetious here, but you get points. You feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. And an alley to run. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. That one good for 13 and a Raven first down. Stepping up, he's going to keep it. No gain there as he kept it himself at 2nd down.
Joe Schubert on the tackle. No gain on the play. 2nd and 10 at the 43-yard line.
Now this time he'll look to throw. Flush to his right. Now he'll pull it down, and he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. 6 yards there off the scramble, but it'll still leave him with a third down.
And it's third down.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Steps away to his left. He can run for it, and he will. Lamar Jackson, such a threat with those legs, able to improvise and get the first. All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. $2 yards the gain on the keeper, and it's 2nd down. Ravens going to use their 3rd and final timeout. So that will leave them with no timeouts left. Still plenty of time on the clock. We'll see how that affects things here in this 4th quarter. Jackson hit, and he lost the football. And this is picked up by the Browns. Down the numbers. There he goes. And he's in. Touchdown, Browns. Big boy earning his lunch. That's what you call rumbling with the ball, Charles.
Big man with football. He wasn't just earning lunch, Brandon. He was earning dinner. He was
midnight snack.
Everything that you could possibly do, he did it on that play to pick up the ball and go.
So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score.
Get ready.
The Ravens take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And they weren't on the sidelines for long, but I'll tell you what, I'm glad you and I weren't down there. We could hear them. The coaches from all the way up here, they were adamant, you've got to hold on to the football or else we have no hope.
Yeah, it's easy for me to laugh sitting up here, but you're exactly right. If we were down there, that message would have been received a whole different way. Because turnovers, they've been a big problem for them. Got to take care of the football. Got to hold on to it.
On 2nd and 7, Jackson. Stepping up, he'll try and run. And the ball is knocked out. And this is picked up by the Browns. And he's got room.
Well, Parker, I think it's safe to say they can mark this down as extremely frustrating. Here we are in the 4th quarter, and that last play, that turnover, I think it epitomizes what happened to them all day on offense.
So symbolic, and that's why they're still being shut out. They'll come out in the pistol. The defense gets him the ball via the turnover. Now can this offense cash in? 1st and goal. And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. Give him 2 yards on that one. 2nd and goal now. Be interesting to see now what they do offensively down near the goal line after not much there that time.
As the offensive play caller, that may change your sequence now. Instead of coming right back with a running play, you may have to go to the air.
Now the Browns signal for the 2nd of their timeouts. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play.
That's what I do.
And they'll indeed take a knee.
Mariota on the keeper. The play lost a yard. It's now 3rd and goal.
Now from back at the 5, this is 3rd and goal.
Watch a slant. Watch a slant. Watch a slant.
Mariota with a knee to the ground, and that should be in. Well, partner, the offense gets to take the knee, but the defense should take a bow on that sidelines. What a game, shutting him out.
I like the way you put it there. You wordsmithed that one perfectly. take a knee offense, you get to celebrate, you got the win. But defensively, wow, they'll be sailing as they go forward.
So Cleveland able to come away with the victory here. And I tell you what, Charles, this might be about as good as it gets. They were incredible.
Yeah, offense was in fine form. The defense threw the shutout at them. I think they worked in concert together. What I like about the offense was they held the ball pretty well. You know, time of possession, exactly what they were looking for in this one. And that helped out their defense. Didn't have to be out there the entire time. So when you do that and you're out there fresh playing, a little extra spring in your step,